Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Flaws, back again with another video. And today we're going to do the real review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now, if you've seen any of my other real reviews, you already know that I'm not going to get into the specs because I already covered that in the unboxing video, so no reason to waste time going over that again. Now, first off, let's talk about everything I don't like, and then we'll get into everything that I do like. Number one, the first thing about this phone I don't like is the build quality. Now, this is no surprise. If you had any other Samsung phone in the past, you had any of the Notes or any of the Galaxy line, you kind of got used to that plastic cheap feel. But that's just one thing I don't like. Now, I like to buy phones off contract. So for $700, $800, you kind of want the phone to have a quality feel to it, like the HTC One or the iPhone 5S. You know, these feel like, $700, $800 kind of, builds. The Galaxy S5 just has that cheap feel to it, even though, just because it feels plastic and cheap doesn't mean that it's not durable. Because if you watch the drop test for yourself, this phone handles just like, any other phone. This phone won't break as soon as you drop it. So just because it feels cheap doesn't mean that it is cheap. I just don't like the feel to it. It kind of has that cheap plastic feel. Now that goes both ways. Some people like that, the plastic feel because it makes the phone feel lighter and easier to carry. But me personally, I don't like the build to it. I prefer the aluminum builds. I prefer like metal, heavy duty, solid phones. So the build is one thing I don't like. Next, the fingerprint scanner. Now the fingerprint scanner on this is garbage. Now don't get me wrong, I done watched all of the videos with people showing you different tips and tricks on how to set it up. You got some people going, horizontally. You got some people going vertically. You got some people, doing these different swipes and, different ways to set it up. I tried everything and I could get it to work pretty much maybe 60% of the time. And that's not acceptable for having a cell phone, for using your fingerprint scanner to unlock your phone all the time. Now, sometimes, it's a fun little gimmick to show your friends and all of that. But when you, somewhere and you're busy and you just pull the phone out of your pocket and you want to just quickly check something on your phone, that fingerprint scanner is just whack. I want it to work every time. It's nowhere near as good as the one on the iPhone. This one works pretty much, I would say, 90% of the time. The one on the One Max, I would say this one works maybe 70% of the time. And the one on the Galaxy, this one works, I would say 60% of the time. So I totally don't use it at all. If it was able to register in the Google Play Store, or you could buy music and stuff by just using the scanner, I would rather use it for that. But just unlocking and locking the phone, using that as security lock, it's a no-go. All right, the fingerprint scanner is trash. Now, like I said, some people get it to work better than other people's, but I want it to work 90% of the time. Otherwise, I'm not going to use it. So the fingerprint scanner is garbage. Next, this is another thing I don't like, is this cover over the micro USB charger. Now, if you like me and you got short nails, this thing is definitely hard to open. Not impossible, but it's annoying and it's hard to open. And especially if you have a case on your phone, you're going to get tired of this. Now, if you're a power user, if you like to use the phone a lot, and you constantly plugging your phone in every time you get a brief minute to, charge it, then you're going to get annoyed with this little flap right here. Now, of course, I know you need it to have the phone, to make the phone be waterproof and IP67 certified. Of course, you're going to need it. But it's just annoying. I don't like it. And after this video, I'm probably going to pop it off. Okay, because now, look, even though the phone is IP67, you're not going to be just putting the phone underwater for no reason, just to show your friends. Let me just put the phone in the toilet. Let me just put the phone in the sink just to show your friends. So I don't really need it. I'm more concerned with when I'm riding my bike and the phone gets wet a little bit, when I got, listening to music and the phone gets a little bit wet. At least I know it's not going to get damaged. Or if I did drop it in a puddle, it's not going to get damaged. And even without this flap, I'm pretty sure if you drop it in a puddle, it's not going to get damaged. Because if you go online right now, go on YouTube, you got some people with HTC One M8 videos, and this doesn't have anything covering the bottom, and they submerge in this phone, and the phone works fine. So I'm pretty sure without the flap, it's still going to be, water resistant enough. Okay, so I hate that flap on the bottom. It's very annoying. Next, this heart rate monitor on the back. Now, this is cool. It's a nice little gimmick feature. It's cool when you're sitting around at work and y'all having that, that age-old conversation when your boy got the one, the M8, and you got your S5, and y'all saying, oh, my phone can do this, your phone can't do that. Oh, yeah, I got the heart rate sensor. Let me show you something. You do the heart rate sensor. Yeah, it's a cool little gimmick. But let's be real. In order for this thing to work, you got to be really quiet, and, you have to be still. So think about it. When's the last time you was working out somewhere really that hard and you wanted to check your heart rate, that it was that quiet and you was that still? Every time I tried this in the gym, I couldn't get it to work because my gym, they play music and all that. People in there talking. I couldn't get a good reading. The only time I get a good reading is when I'm sitting in the car, perfectly still, breathing real slow. Then I could get a reading. And at that point, why do I need to take my heart rate when I'm sitting in the car? You want to take it when you're in the treadmill, when you're in the gym and all that. So it works better on the Galaxy Gear Watch, but on the phone, it's just a gimmick and it's pretty whack. Taking up space on the phone for no reason. Next, the speaker. Now, the speaker on this phone is completely weak. All right. Now, it's not the worst speaker in the world, but it's just trash. First of all, the placement of the speaker on the back of the phone, that's the wrong spot. Think about it. Every time you're holding your phone in your hand, you're pretty much covering up the speaker. So, just by holding the phone, you're already muffling out the speaker. Not to mention, the speaker is not that loud. So when you already got it muffled with your hand, that's a no-no. Now, when you put the phone down somewhere, yeah, it's a little bit better. If you got a little stand or something, or you got a desktop dock, then it's a little bit better. But I would have liked to see the speakers on the front, which we already know that with the, on the HTC One M8, that's the best placement on the front. Or I would have liked to see them on the bottom. So at least when I'm holding the phone, you're going to hold it tight. You don't want to drop your phone when you're walking around. Well, when you're holding the phone, you're at the car show, you're at wherever you're at, and you're showing your friend a video, you're going to hold the phone because you don't want to drop it, but you're actually muffling out the speaker. So it would have been much better with the speaker on the bottom. So that's another thing I don't like. The speaker placement and the actual sound of the speaker, pretty weak. All right, the Galaxy S5 has a pretty weak system. So if you get in this phone thinking that you're going to be at work blasting music at your desk, I would suggest getting something else because the speaker is whack. Now let's talk about the stuff that I do like. First of all, now the main thing I like about this phone is the display. All right, now you got 5.1 inch 1080p display, which is beautiful. This is probably the best display that I've ever seen on a smartphone. And y'all already know that I like the Super AMOLED displays better than the LCD. Look how the blacks look in the background. All of the colors just stand out. The colors look more vibrant. And like I said before, the colors pop out more. That's why I like to use black backgrounds. But, since I got the gear, paired up together, I try to use the same background. But normally I have a solid black background. And it looks great on this phone. So now when you're watching movies and you're watching YouTube and, you watching stuff off your memory card, you're going to love it on this display. All right, the display is perfect size. Me personally, I like a little bit bigger. But, for the average person, this is a perfect size. Not OD big. Okay, not too big. And 1080p, Super AMOLED, that's a winning combination. So the display on this is completely beautiful. Next. Now, this phone is also, like I said before, it's IP67 certified. So that means that when you look at 67, the 6 is for the dust and the 7 is for the water. So now, this phone is not completely waterproof. It's water resistant to a certain... Hold on a second. Let me put my phone in airplane mode real quick. I'm getting too many notifications. Now, what that means is the phone is water resistant. So if you drop it in the toilet, yeah, it's not gonna damage the phone. If you drop it in a puddle, if you submerge it to a certain amount of feet, the phone is gonna be fine. Now, if you're going deep sea diving, yeah, you can't put this, attach this to your scuba gear and go, 3,000 leagues under the sea. You don't want to do that. But for day-to-day use and regular people, if you're at the beach and you accidentally drop it in some water, or, you drop it in the toilet like most people do, or if it's raining and it falls out of your pocket right when you're about to get in the house and it falls in a puddle, the phone is going to be fine. So the IP67 dust and waterproof, that's a good look right there. I'm definitely feeling that. Even though, like I said, do some research for yourself. With the HTC One M8, a lot of people putting this underwater and it's still working just fine. So, it is what it is. Next, the removable battery. Now, I've been a fan of removable batteries since day one because, I like to carry around a bunch of batteries. This way, I don't have to use power saving tricks. I don't have to turn my brightness down. I don't have to limit my notifications coming in. I want to, if I just spent $800 for a phone, I'm walking around with the screen on maximum brightness. I'm putting all my emails at push notification status. I'm draining this battery quick. So with the removable battery, now I got 3 batteries fully charged up at the end of the night. I walk out the house. I don't have to worry about battery. Now, is that a big deal? Because you could get these portable battery packs, like stuff like this, like the power ads and all that. You could get these all day on the phones that don't have removable batteries. But it's always a plus when you could just take off the back and change the battery. That's always a plus. So removable battery, that's a win right there. Also, expandable memory. So that's always a good look too. Now, I see in the future that they're going to phase out these memory cards sooner or later because everything is going to the cloud now. But it's always nice to be able to just get a new phone, take your memory card out the old phone, slap it in the new one, and you got all your pictures, all your videos, everything you downloaded. You know, it's always nice to have that. Now, like I said, I use the cloud a lot for most of my stuff, especially with Google Plus, with the pictures. But I do have some memory cards that just have a whole bunch of episodes of Family Guy, American Dad, you know, stuff like that. So I just like to have, if I'm going somewhere, I know I'm going to be sitting around for a long time, I just pull out a different memory card, slap a movie in there, and I'm good money. All right, so expandable memory, that's a good look. Removable battery, that's a definite good look. Next, now one of the main things about this phone that I'm really feeling, and this is what actually sets this phone apart from a lot of the other phones on the market, is the camera. Now, when I say a lot of phones on the market, I don't mean like those Windows phones, you know, with the extra megapixel cameras. No, I'm talking about as far as HTC One, Motorola, you know, Samsung. This is the Samsung Galaxy S5 has one of the best cameras on the market right now. As far as the non-Windows phones, like with the 20 megapixels, you know, phones that's geared toward 100% picture taking. As far as a regular phone that just has a camera on it, this camera is amazing. Okay, and let me show you some of the features from the camera. I'm not going to get into them too deep, but we'll just take a look at some of the features real quick. Now, when you go on your modes, you got a whole bunch of different modes to choose from. You got the auto, beauty face, you got the shot and more, you got panorama. Now, this feature right here, now, fellas, ladies, if you got an S5 and you never really played with this, use the virtual tour. All right, that's a tough little feature. Now, I did a video. I can't show it to y'all because I got some sensitive information in the video, so I'm not going to play it. I don't want to put nobody on blast. But virtual tour is tough. If you want to show somebody how, say, you know, like how your job looks or how your house looks, you just moved into a new apartment and you want to show somebody what it looks like, use the virtual tour. And it's going to it's going to take pictures, but it's going to put it into like a little video format, and it's going to blend them in and out. It's going to look beautiful. Trust me. You got the dual camera, so you put yourself in the shot. Animated photos, sound shot, sports, surround shot, and you could go to the App Store and download some more. So this camera has a ton of features, and it takes beautiful, beautiful pictures. Let me just pull up a picture I took and see what we got on deck. It takes beautiful pictures with a lot of detail. You know, that was one thing I complained about the M8's camera. You know, it takes dull pictures. You don't get too much detail in them. This one, on the other hand, now, like I said, I use Google Plus, so let me go to my gallery real quick and pull up a photo. I use Google Plus, so I just went to my albums, and I had a whole bunch of Google Plus stuff. But I want to show y'all a picture I actually took with the phone. Just comes out beautiful. Look at the detail. Shout out to Motorceps. Them gold rims is on fire. But look at the detail. So the picture on this comes out great. The camera, it just has so many features. Let's pull up the options real quick on the camera. Now, if you're not a photographer, you might not want to play with all of these settings, but just look at them. So many different tweaks. If you are into photography, you can tweak out everything on this camera. Okay, so many different options and features to play with. It's ridiculous. So one thing about the Galaxy camera, it's great. Autofocus. Takes pictures real quick. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. This. What more can I say? This camera, look, now this picture right here didn't come out too great, but I could have autofocused it better. But trust me, you read the reviews for yourself. The camera on this is no joke. It's definitely blowing HTC camera out the water. So the camera on this is a definite go. The video camera is a go. You've seen the test for yourself. The video camera is not as shaky as the M8's camera. It is a little bit shaky, but you can also record in 4K on this. Now, when I uploaded the 4K test, on my computer it shows 4K. I don't know how YouTube processed it. A lot of people said it only went up to 1080p on their computers. On my computer, it shows 4K. You know, I got a fancy computer, so you never know if that's what it is. But it records in 4K. Now, once you do 4K, you can only record for 5 minutes, but it's going to be a good, clear 5 minutes, though. So it's going to be a good 4K 5 minutes. Next, multitasking. Now, a lot of phones, you can't do multitasking, you know, real multitasking. This phone, you can. So now I can open up Facebook, and I can open up the web. Now, I got the phone on airplane mode because I don't want to get too many notifications, but you got to have two sites working at the same time. So you got YouTube and Facebook going at the same time. And you can adjust them. So multitasking is a definite go. You can move that bar around also. So you see, got multiple apps. Now, once you root this, you can put any app you want. And there's another app, I forgot the name of it offhand, that allows you to put more apps in the drawer. And you can also create two apps together and have them open simultaneously every time you hit the button. So the multitasking on this is a major win. Like I said, a lot of phones, you open up something, then you got to hit back, go to the next one, go back again. No, this has two screens going at the same time. So that's a major, major win. That's a major win right there. That's a major plus. All right, multitasking, that's a go. Next, TouchWiz. Now, you heard me say before, I like HTC Sense better, but I do like TouchWiz. And this TouchWiz right here is pretty much the smoothest one that they had yet. Normally, my main issue with TouchWiz is cause the phone to kind of lag a little bit. TouchWiz has always been a little bit slow, a little bit buggy. But the TouchWiz on this actually works great. Let me clear this notification bar really quick. Now, with the TouchWiz notification bar, you see you got some extra stuff in here. You got S Finder. So now S Finder is, when you click on that, you can search your device, read that for yourself. You can search a device for, like, put in a name, and search all of the mic that you have on your, I just for instance, mic, and search all the mics I have in my contacts, all the messages with the word mic in it, and then after that, I can take it straight to the web. Also, you got Quick Connect. So Quick Connect is cool because now, say if I'm, looking at some pictures, I go to Quick Connect and I hit on Quick Connect. All of my devices that's able to connect will pop up. So my TV, my computer, my Xbox One. So when I do Quick Connect and push it to my TV, my photos automatically pop up on the TV. So that's a nice, cool, convenient feature right there, and I'm definitely feeling that. Also, My Magazine. Now, My Magazine is cool. Now, if you remember when I did the unboxing video, there was that lag. Well, of course, I told you that was just a stock unboxing video fresh out the box. So now that I got the phone and played with it, of course, I went to the animation settings and turned everything down. And now you see how fast it just slides over. And one of the main issues I used to have with TouchWiz and the Samsung phones is when you use the pinch feature. But now it looks different. Remember when you pinch, it used to lag out? So now the pinch feature works good on this. That's a good look right there. Magazine, My Magazine, this is cool. I don't really use it too much, but I prefer blink feed, but this works just as good. The only problem with this is that sometimes it takes a long time to refresh. That was the same problem that we was having with the HTC One, the original, the M7. The blink feed took forever to refresh, so therefore, why would you want to use that if you're going to be sitting around waiting to refresh it? You just use Flipboard, or you just, go to whatever app you want to look at. So My Magazine, they really stepped it up. It works a lot better, but it still lags a little bit. Next, let's talk about the AirView. Now, AirView works on this. This phone has so many gimmicks to it, and y'all already know that. That's what Samsung is known for with their phones. A lot of gimmicky features that if you don't use, they're going to seem more gimmicky than if you start to use them. But one feature that some people say is gimmicky, but I do use, is the AirView. So say now, normally when you're on the emails, if I see I got an email from 7 days, I got to click on it to read the email. And then I got to go back to if I clicked on the wrong one, I got to go back. Now, with this email, with the AirView, I could just hover over it and actually read the emails without having to open the email up. All right, so that you can do that with text messages too. That's a good look right there. All right, now some people call that a gimmicky feature, but when you're sitting in a meeting at work or something, you don't want to be, going like this. Somebody's talking or somebody's giving a presentation and you got your emails open and you want to be checking your emails. You can just actually be reading your emails without doing all this scrolling back, all those finger gestures. The person will be looking at you like, oh, this guy's not even listening to what I'm saying. He's busy checking his emails. So now it's more easy to check your emails just by hovering over it and just read the emails. So AirView works on this. A lot of the motion gestures work. Some of them are gimmicky, but some of them actually work. One that I use a lot is the screenshot. So when you want to take a screenshot, you just swipe over the screen. Take a screenshot. So I use that feature a lot. That's definitely not a gimmick. Especially depending on what kind of case you have on your phone. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to get to that power button and get to that volume down button. So using the screenshot feature is a definite plus. So like I said, I like all these little gimmicky features. Some of them I use, some of them I don't. But the AirView is one that I definitely use. Next, let's talk about lag now. Does this phone have any lag to it? The lag factor. Well, this phone doesn't have any lag to it as far as scrolling and all that stuff. No lag. But one thing I will say that lags on this phone is the My Magazine. When you go to refresh it, it's going to take a while. Sometimes that might lag out a little bit. And the gallery still has that lag to it. Y'all remember I talked about that with the Galaxy Note, the Galaxy Note 2, the Galaxy Note 3. It actually works better. But the original Galaxy Note had the same problem as this Galaxy S5 in the gallery. the gallery will tend to lag out a little bit. Now, you can use other galleries if you want. I like to use the Google Plus one. That one doesn't lag at all. But the stock gallery will have some lag in it. But overall, the phone is silky smooth, no lag at all. All right. Now, as far as web connection and web speed and all that, that's one thing I will say. I didn't mention it on the M8 because the M8, is fast and smooth. But the Galaxy S5 is super fast, though. When you go into those web pages and you're browsing the web, you'll actually be able to see the difference. When you hit load on the next video, that video will load up fast. That web page loads up fast and smooth. So this phone has no lag. It has a little hiccups on it. Now, let's talk about the hiccups. Now, when I say hiccups, I don't mean lag as far as when you press something. Lag is when you open the app and you close it. Now the phone just like in that pause state. Or you go to swipe and the phone just pause. And then after you move your finger, then it'll swipe. That's lag. Hiccups is when you have little minor bugs here and there. And this phone does have a few hiccups. A lot of times I notice when I turn the phone off and I turn it back on real quick, it won't turn on. Now, I got the password set up, but a lot of times you'll turn it off and quickly turn it back on and it won't turn on. Or sometimes it'll freeze up. Now, I'm not having that problem right now. And like I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens sometimes. Sometimes I go to open the camera and it'll say, camera failed. So as a little here and there, little bugs here and there, not a big deal. I wouldn't call it lag. I would just say that it's not as silky smooth as HTC phones. But it's right up there at the top. It's definitely beast mode. But it's smooth, lag-free, but just a little hiccups here and there. Last but not least, the floss factor. Now, the floss factor is just the same as saying the wow factor. How hot is the phone? Is it the top of the food chain? If you're a gadget head or a tech freak like me, when you pull out your phone and somebody pulls out their iPhone or somebody pulls out another phone, are you still on top of the food chain, or do you look like you got last year's unit and they looking like they're on the top of the game and you coming out with some, old school phone, some, Galaxy S2 from back in the days? Some people don't care, but some people do. So let's talk about the floss factor on this. Now, the floss factor on this, on the scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a go. Now, if I had to put a number on that, I would say a 9, a 9, whatever. Just the phone alone. The Band-Aid back, not too impressive. When you're outside, nobody's going to come running up to you like, oh, let me touch that. That looks hot. Nobody's going to say that. It kind of looks, whatever. Looks a little cheesy. Personally, I think they could have left the backlight on the Note. Now, of course, you could still see the difference because the way the cameras are set up. So it's not like somebody's going to say, oh, that they think that's the Note and you really got the S5 and you want to be like, no, I got the latest and greatest. No, you can tell the difference. People who know can tell the difference. But I would have preferred this leatherish back as opposed to the Band-Aid back, which is not, like I said, it grew on me. I don't hate it, but it's not all that great. So the floss factor on this loses a few points, but pair it up with the watch. Now, when you're walking around with the S5 and the watch together, now the floss factor is off the charts. All right, so when you're making your phone call and you're chilling, you're sitting in the car and you got the watch and the phone in the same hand, you kind of do look like a boss. I'll give you that. It looks tough. So with the watch and the phone combination, that floss factor is off the charts. But the phone by itself, personally now, if somebody asked me, what would I take, the Galaxy Note 3 or the Galaxy S5? To be 100% honest with y'all, I would take the Note 3. Pretty much the same features, even though actually one feature that's missing on this Galaxy S5 that's on the Note is this. When you hover over the phone, now this doesn't work 100% too, smoothly, but I love that feature right here because when you're sitting in a meeting, you don't want to keep picking up your phone and looking at the phone, checking the time and all that. If you don't want to keep looking at your watch either, because every time you look at your watch, the person who's presenting something, it kind of gives them that feeling like you're in a rush, you're ready to go. At least now with my Note, when I'm sitting around at all these boring meetings, I just go like this and I'm able to check the time, see how many messages I got, see if I got any missed calls, because I like to put my phone on silent when I go to meetings. So I can see if I got any missed calls, and if I do see a missed call, then I have to be rude and pick up my phone and check it, and if it's something important, then I got to bounce. But at least I have the option to just do that. You can't do that on the S5. All right, but all in all, like I said, if I had to choose one, they both have the same kind of build to it. Both of them feel like, cheap plastic phones. Both of them have that aluminum looking sides, even though we know it's plastic. The one on the S5 is ridged up a little more, so it, kind of gives it more detail, but we all know it's plastic. But if I had to choose one, I'll take the Note because you got that S Pen, which separates the Note from any phone on the market right now is the S Pen. So if I had to choose one, I would definitely choose the Note over getting the S5, even though the S5 have more new gimmicky features like the fingerprint scanner and the heart rate sensor and all that. More new gimmicky features. And if you're one of those people that just want to be able to say, I got the latest phone that's out, yeah, then get the S5. But in real life and, you know, all practical situations, the Note 3 is a better phone, even though now if you got small hands and you think that the S5 is already kind of big, yeah, then the Note is going to seem gigantic to you. But, you know, for most people though, if you, like I said, it's up to you, user's choice. But if I had to choose one between the S5 and the Note 3, I would just take the Note because you're getting more bang for your buck. You're getting that S Pen. Both of these has removable batteries. So you're getting the S Pen, you're getting more features, you're getting a bigger phone, you're getting a great camera. Everybody seen my camera test for the Note 3. You're getting a great video camera, a great still camera. So, you know, it is what it is. But the S5 is hot. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a major go. I give it a, you know, you could convert that to a 9, 10, whatever you want. It's a major go. It's definitely worth the money. It's a new phone, and especially a flagship phone from Samsung. You know, all these companies are making a whole bunch of accessories for it. So if you like me and you're one of those people that like to buy a phone and then buy 1,000 accessories for it, then this phone is a good pick for you because you're going to have a big variety of cases and battery charge cases and all that stuff. You're not going to worry about that. You're going to have all that options available to you. Certain phones that come out, like the LG Flex, you're not going to see too many cases for them because even like this HTC One Max, you're not going to see too many cases for it because these phones are, you know, they come today and then, you know, next month, you know, they on sale and then 2 months later, nobody's using them no more. 3 months later, they dead. But the S5, you already know, Samsung flagship joint, this ain't going nowhere. So all these companies going to make a whole bunch of accessories, so you got nothing to worry about. So there it is. That's my review of the Galaxy S5. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I will do a S5 versus M8 video. I ran out of time today. I know I make these videos mad long. I ran out of time. So I will do that in a couple of days. I'll do the comparison. I'll also do the Google Glass review and the Gear 2 review. So we got some more stuff coming up. I want to show y'all one more case for the M8 before we get out of here today. So I'm going to end this video right now. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And of course, special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at. Full time, 100% full throttle. It's your boy Floss. I'm going to catch up with y'all on the next trip. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Ladies, fellas, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, Donald Sterling, go eat a fucking dick. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces.